Hello, in this video I will show you how to remove and replace the cooling fan clutch on Volkswagen Passat 5.5 1.9 TDI. The procedure is similar for Audi A4 and A6 with the 1.9 TDI engine. We can see the cooling fan and the serpentine belt here are located on the front of the engine. So first we'll start by removing the engine cover and then remove the serpentine belt. To remove the serpentine belt, we need to turn the tensioner anti-clockwise so that it loosens the belt, and then we can remove it. That's the tensioner right there where I'm putting my wrench on, and the wrench is in the bolt. Now I need to turn it anti-clockwise and it will loosen the belt. And that's the belt out. There's another belt on the bottom driving the AC compressor. We can remove that as well if we want to replace the serpentine belt. To remove it, there is two bolts that need to be loosened. They're Allen key size 8. We loosen them and then the tensioner will loosen the belt. And that's the belt out. Next, we're going to remove the cooling fan clutch. The cooling fan clutch is held by one bolt, which is Allen key size 8, and the bolt is right there. We need a long Allen key in order to get to that bolt. Before removing that bolt, first we're going to remove this air intake hose because it's in our way. It will make we'll have more access when we remove the hose. And that's the Allen key size 8 that I'm going to be using to remove the bolt for the cooling fan clutch. We're going to put the Allen key through the hole and onto the bolt, and then we're going to loosen it. When we try to loosen the bolt, the whole fan is turning as well. So I'm going to use these big pliers to hold on to the fan clutch pulley while I try to loosen the bolt. And as the bolt loosened, now I'll show you where exactly I put the pliers on so that I can hold the fan clutch from spinning. That's it, exactly on the pulley for the fan clutch. Now I'm going to remove the bolt and then remove the fan clutch from its place. The fan clutch is a bit stuck in its bed, so I'm going to use a pry bar to pry it out. Don't put too much pressure on the fan clutch, on the pulley there. It will come out eventually. That's the fan clutch out of its bed, but we're not gonna be able to remove it from there. In order to remove it, first we're going to remove the alternator so that we can make more space to take it out. The alternator is held by two bolts, one on the top and one on the bottom. There is also an electrical connector on the back that we need to remove, and also the positive cable there we also need to remove it. But before removing the alternator, first we need to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. After we disconnect the negative terminal of the battery, we can disconnect the electrical connector and then remove the positive cable on the alternator. Next, we're going to remove the two bolts holding the alternator and take out the alternator. And that's the alternator out. Next, we can take out this cooling fan clutch. It's still, the space is still a little tight, but it will come out. and that's the cooling fan clutch out. Next, we're going to put the fan clutch back in its place. Before putting it back in its place, we're going to remove these two plastic clips that hold the radiator. This way we'll be able to move the radiator a little bit to the front, and then we'll have a little bit more space to put in the fan clutch. And as the fan clutch in its place, before putting the fan clutch in its bed and putting out on the boat, first we need to put on the alternator, tighten the two bolts, and then put on the fan clutch. That's the alternator tightened, and next we're going to put on the fan clutch and tighten the bolt for it. I'm again going to use these pliers to hold the fan clutch pulley in order to tighten the bolt for the fan clutch. Next, we assemble everything else that we've disassembled back in the reverse order, and then we're done. Hopefully the video was helpful. Thank you for watching.